Hi, it's Paula. I swear I'm behind the curtain, but I'm not hitting the button in the right way. There we go. Hello. Welcome to Inside Scoop. I'm Paula Rizzo. Sorry for the tech issue. This is what happens when you're the producer and the director and all of the above. This is what we're talking about today. Doing video. Video is here to stay, like it or not, good at it, bad at it, whatever it is. 2021 is going to be the year of video. And if you are not embracing it in your business, in your company, you're missing out. I am telling you, video is where it's at. Okay, I've spent my entire career producing video, so I have loved it forever. But I want you to love it as much as I love it. So I have an amazing guest who I'm going to introduce in just a minute to kind of demystify video and make it accessible for you as a business owner, or whatever you want to talk about. Or you thought leadership, video is the way to do it. I do have a freebie for you, just a little free thing that I'd love to give to you before we start. It's a checklist that I created to become a go-to media expert. So if you go to paularizzo.com/checklist, you can check it out. And media now is not just television anymore. I think a lot of times when people think doing media, they think it has to be TV, podcasts. Yes, it means all those things, but also producing your own videos, doing your own content, putting your own stuff out into the world. So if you go there, you'll get my checklist and lots of tips and tricks on how to do all of this better. I also have a bunch of courses with LinkedIn Learning that I think you might enjoy. There's one that I have all about organizing your remote office for maximum productivity. And I do talk a lot about setting up your home office like a studio. So you have to think in terms of, what do you look like on video now? And that course will walk you through it. So if you go to paularizzo.com/LinkedIn, that will be able to, walk you through all of that so that you can make sure that you're all set up when it comes to your remote office studio. And I would love if you tagged a friend right now and shared this video with them. If you think this is something of interest, that they're looking to do some video or interested in that in any way, tag them below, hit the share button. And at any point throughout this, please, please, please leave your questions, leave your comments. We're going to be, here for a while and talking about video, and we would love to help you. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine who is, he's pretty good at video. I have to say, there he is. Kristian, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, friend?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I'm psyched to talk about our favorite topic. I know that not everybody, is as excited about video as we are, but we're going to make them excited.
Well, I was going to say, for how many times that we're on Polo with each other, just like going and ranting and raving about video. Yeah, this will be a fun chat here.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. And he's talking about Marco Polo. So if you guys don't know Marco Polo, download it, because it's a really fun way, especially if you don't have coworkers. You don't work with people in the office anymore. Entrepreneurs have been using it for years now, I think. To be able to talk to your friends or talk to a colleague and say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? It's a good way to use video. So that's an advanced tip we didn't even expect to give you right there. But that's it. Kristian, so why is it so important for people to be thinking about video when we're talking about their business?
When it comes to video in business, I like to think I like to break it down into 3 benefits of like why you use video for business. And from like least important to most important. Least importantly, video is the most attention grabbing.
Yes.
If you're scrolling on social media, like a video is going to grab your attention more than a status update, more than a still photo. Video is automatically just like, boom, you're locked in. That's the least important reason, number 1. And reason number 2 is you are just so capable of like communicating your message, your information, your expertise, because people can hear you, they see you. You can overlay captions or text so they can also read. So they're getting it's called multimedia for a reason. They are so easily able to like absorb and get the content, get the information from you.
Yes. There's no way to misinterpret it. It's like, it's not like you've read it wrong. You're listening, you're watching, you get that person's tone and you understand what the message means.
Right. And you can, even if you talk about something, you can like visually confirm it. Like there's really no room for interpretation with it, which is great. It's very clear.
Yep.
Reason number 3, most important in my book, is video shows who you are as a person, and like way over written word, way over a still photo of you smiling.
Yes, which is also nice, but not the same.
Right. But it's like having a one-on-one conversation. Like people get to see you as for who you are when you're talking, face to face with them. Video gives you that ability. And the thing is, we as people go off of emotion, we go off of feeling, not just, oh, well, this information makes sense. So you need to give that impression. You have to show your best self. And that's what people are really going to cling on to.
I agree. And it's just, it's a way to connect. For years, it was through TV. People have always watched the news. That's the business that I come from. And they think, oh, I feel like I know that anchor. I know that reporter. You don't know them, but you feel like you do because they talk just to you. So because, our past has only told us that only professionals do video, I think a lot of people are very intimidated by the idea of setting up a camera and having the right lighting. And we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about, the bare minimum setup that you need. And then if you want to up level, we'll talk about that too. But what do you say to people who are like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm so intimidated by video. I'd rather just write a blog post or, do some audio.
Sure. Yeah. It is intimidating because, like I said before, you are showing your full self. You're not hiding behind a keyboard. You're not hiding behind a still photo of you smiling. So it is intimidating, of course. But the thing that I want to like drill into everyone's heads right now is when you make a video and you put it out into the world, you put it on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever social media you want. When you put that video out there, you are not going to get any bad feedback. I guarantee you, unless it's from Johnny Pants 89.
I was going to say a troll.
Right. Forget him. You will not get any bad feedback. You will only get good feedback. Like if people don't like your video, if they are not interested, they will just move right on.
Right. And if they don't, they'll leave a nonsense thing and you just delete it. That's what I always do.
Right. I really think that people don't realize like how overwhelmingly positive video can be and the feedback that they can get. Like,
for sure. The impact you can make is so much greater, And so this is something that I'm always talking about with my media training clients is that if you look at this in a way of how can I be of service to the audience, to the people who are listening, who, could be your potential clients, then it takes sort of your own ego out of it because it's not about what your hair looks like and what your lighting looks like. It's much more about your discussion, what you're saying, and are you giving your absolute 100% best stuff to people that, it can literally change people's lives. The things that can change someone's life. So that's kind of it's kind of a big deal for you to keep it to yourself. And, we think video is the way to get it out there. But let's talk a little bit about some benefits. We did talk about why you want to do video for your business, but what can it actually lead to? Because, in the end of the day, people want clients, they want some cash. So how have you seen that to be a direct correlation between producing videos and getting clients or, raising your profile?
Yeah. So I'll just tell my story of how I got started because this was mind-blowing. I mean, it still is mind-blowing, but it was certainly mind-blowing at the time. So I've been a professional video content producer for years and years and years. But I didn't start making video content of like me on the screen until I think early 2018 it was.
Right. So you were always shooting for someone else. You're always just, behind the scenes, not putting yourself out there. Yeah.
Correct. My profession is Videography is making that video content for other businesses and now myself.
Yes.
So that's always been my craft, but I never made like my content of myself until 2018. At that time, I was primarily in the wedding industry. I was making wedding videos, really like high-end wedding videos, which was a lot of fun. And I made a piece of video content that really, it was just a, hey, I keep getting this FAQ, this question. Right. Everyone's asking me this question about raw footage, wedding raw footage.
All the brides want it. They all have
exactly.
Yes.
Paula, none of them know what it is.
Oh yeah, totally.
They want it, and they have no idea what it is.
What are they going to do with it? They were told in a wedding blog once that you should ask the videographer for the raw video in case one day you need it.
Mm-hmm.
So you did this video. So when he says video content, he means a video, right? So he created a video of yourself, on camera, saying, "Hey, this is what I've heard, and this is the answer to that question."
Exactly right. So instead of typing out a long email to every single bride explaining what it was,
sure,
I said, I'm going to hop on camera. I'm going to talk about what it is, what it looks like, why there's a charge for it, and whether they need it or not. Right. And I just outlined those points. I was very clear, very direct. It was about a 5-minute video. And, being my first piece of video content, I myself was like, I don't like the way I sound. Like I was real like, oh. But I knew the message was there. I knew it was strong, and I knew it needed to go out.
Yep.
So I published it, and then I believe I sent it to I had 3 meetings lined up in that week. I sent them the video because they all had that question.
Yes.
Do I need the raw footage? Well, here's a video to answer your question. They all instantly were like, this is super helpful. And we really got a sense of like who you are.
Sure.
And they all booked. And I made $10,000 in 1 week because of that piece of content.
One video. One video. There's so much great stuff in here, right? So number one is you took the thing that you were talking about anyway, the question that people were always asking you. So I always tell people, when you are thinking about, what video should I be doing, think about what are the questions you're getting the most often. What are people always asking you? What are you always saying again and again? That's the gold that then you can turn into videos. So that was lesson number 1 from Kristian's tale. Lesson number 2 was that from using that video, and even though, it was one of your first videos, of course, everybody feels a little self-conscious, doesn't feel like they've done their best in their first couple videos. However, the brides, the potential clients at that point in your career, got to see you, got to know you, and got to say, hey, I could hang out with that guy all day and have him, follow us around. That'd be totally fine. I like him. And that's what you want. You want people to have that barrier removed so that they see you as a person and they see like, oh, this could be actually a really great fit for me. I really like that person. It's funny because I just recently did this with, an interior designer that I've just started like looking, just like looking around. She has all these videos. I feel like I know her. I'm like, she's the only one I ever want to work with ever. And I don't even have any ideas of what I might do, but I know her now, and it makes it a lot easier to say, hey, you know what? I would love to maybe work with that person potentially. And this is something that you're going to be talking about more on your live stream. And I just put the link to this live stream that's happening there. So tell us about that.
Yeah, next Wednesday, I go live every other Wednesday. And actually, we didn't even plan this, but I'm breaking down that story in more detail next Wednesday. I believe it's the 17th at 12 o'clock Eastern.
And I have the link is in the chat, so you can check that out. Leave yourself a little note to make sure to check that out when Kristian is talking about it. But if you have questions for us now, we would love to see them. We have a couple people who have asked about some tech stuff. So have you heard of Plugged In? I haven't, but I'm hoping maybe you have, Kristian.
Plugged In.
I think it's about sharing video content. It says.
I'm not familiar, although I'm not surprised because I feel like this past year, there's been a ton of new websites and apps and whatnot.
Yep.
So, but I'm not familiar with plugged in.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot, like we're using StreamYard right now to go live. You don't have to use that. We're doing this live versus recording it. Let's talk about that a little bit. The differences between live video content like this and something that you're pre-recording and then maybe editing and putting out into the world. What are the benefits of maybe doing live versus pre-recording?
Biggest benefit by far with live is you do it and then it's done.
Yeah.
Which is scary, no doubt. But once you like get into the flow of it, you find like, wow, this saves a lot of time. It gets rid of perfectionism.
Totally.
I didn't even know you were going to ask this question, and I'm just riffing off of it. And, you know, it's going to turn out the way it turns out. And we're not going to do a second take. With editing, there's always that, oh, well, I could do it better. I could, you know, let me do that again. Oh, let me edit this better. And you end up taking 5 times as long, right, to make something that you could make via live. Like, I love live video.
I do too. And it comes from my TV producer days, because it's just a much more efficient way to do it and be done with it and have it out there. It does take more planning, more pre-planning. Because you want to make sure that you are rehearsed enough so that you can, you're not flubbing and you can get through it. There's also, we would do, it's called pre-records. We would do pre-records as well and do them as live. So we would pretend that they were live and basically tell our reporters and anchors, like, you can't screw it up. So make sure we get through the whole thing, because we literally only have this 5-minute window to do this thing. So it really puts the pressure on, but it makes you better, I think. It makes you accountable to show up at that time. You say, hey, I'm going to be there at 2:00. You show up, you do it. But there's something to also thinking through, if you're going to do a pre-tape video, if this is going to be something that's going to live for a long time, like let's say an online course. Online courses are becoming really, really, popular with entrepreneurs and everybody, really, because everybody's now learning at home. So I know you work with a lot of clients, to help them record and create these online courses. Those are things that I would absolutely say those should be recorded and edited and not done live. Do you agree?
Absolutely. The courses that I've worked with, or like the clients that I've produced courses for, I mean, we are chugging through 3 days worth of content. There is no chance that they are going to nail that in one take, and nor should they, because it's much information. We plan accordingly. We plan, maybe 5-minute sprints at a time, nail it, take a break. All right, let's do the next 5 minutes, and just keep going from there. Yeah,
absolutely. And, I have several courses that I've done myself, that I've produced, that I have on, my websites, and also that I've done with LinkedIn Learning. And we pre-record all of those. So those are, done. I've recorded them all in my home because of the pandemic, but, we record them, and you basically write scripts for each one, and you record them and you give your best performance. But a little tip is that I've always done this, even as when I worked in live TV. If we were pre-recording things, I would go back to the first video at the end and re-record it again.
Oh, that's smart.
Even though you think it was good and you're really excited that the shoot is ended, you're really warmed up at the end. You're feeling loose, you're feeling good. And likely that first video is a little stiff, even if you're a professional, even if you do this all day, every day. And so I would always say to the anchors, I said, you know what, can we just do that first one just one more time for safety, just so I have it? But it was always because I knew their performance was going to be better. So that's a little tip you can take with you.
I'm stealing that tip, Paula. That is genius. I love that.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Take it. Julie Brown says, perfectionism will kill every project dead. That is correct.
Sing, Julie Brown. I love it. That's great.
We have a question about any suggestions for making one video for a few specific clients. So, I think you can make something sort of generic if you want. I mean, I think if that's what you're asking, to be able to say, hey, this is the type of thing I would say to other people. What do you think, Kristian?
In terms of like making a piece of content only geared towards a few select clients?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I think that you putting in that effort to say like, hey, I'm really tailoring my message towards, clients A, B, and C, and this isn't for anyone else. I think that those clients are really going to benefit from that and go, wow, they're really taking the time to reach out to me and solve my problem.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's huge and definitely a positive ROI.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely a good use of your time. Let's talk about lighting, because
All
this is a
right.
question that I always get, and I oftentimes say, "Hey, Kristian, what do you think?" Because you're better at lighting than I am. But my question is specifically about glasses. This is the most asked question that I ever get about lighting: is how do I light myself so that I don't have, a reflection in my glasses?
Mm-hmm. So that's great, and I'm glad that I'm wearing glasses today.
Uh-huh.
Because I do swap between glasses and contacts. So with glasses glare, really any light that hits you straight on is going to reflect. Any light that is at an angle is less likely to reflect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you, I'll demonstrate.
Oh, good. Let's see. There's a little demo. Look at this.
We have a demo here. Hello.
I'm so excited. I've never had a 2-camera shoot on the show before. It's the first time.
Paula, you're working with a professional here. No. So I'm actually using a more affordable light because I wanted to talk about it. You can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on lights, but this light here is a little over $100.
Yep.
And I couldn't even tell you the brand name. I think it starts with a Y. It's a Chinese company,
Mm-hmm.
that you find on Amazon. But you see here how it's high up and angled down.
Yes.
That I did that specifically so that I wouldn't get the glare.
Uh-huh.
If I lowered this.
Yep. And so that it's level with your face, which is what most people would think to do.
Exactly. Right.
It's not wrong. Because if you didn't have glasses, that'd probably be okay.
So you see this? There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Look at it. Big difference.
Right.
That's it. I'll let you fix it.
Yeah.
It's going to drive you
nuts.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm going to fix it. So yeah, raise it up. Tilt it down.
Yep.
And you know what? I don't know if we can see this in the close-up.
Mm-hmm.
I have this little sheet that like spreads out the light.
A little filter.
Yeah. That little filter is wax paper.
Oh, look at you.
Household hack. Normal wax paper from the kitchen. This light doesn't get hot, so it's not going to melt or anything.
Yep.
And I just tape it on, and it just like softens the light a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes it look a little more natural.
That is great. Great demo. I love that. Thank you for doing that for us.
My pleasure.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's fun how you can take a $100 light, slap a piece of wax paper on it, and you have a really quality looking light. Like you don't need to spend thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I've always told people from the beginning. If you are just starting with video, don't get crazy. Don't try and, buy professional camera equipment, stuff. You don't know how to use it. That is the truth. Okay. So, you shouldn't get something because you think it's going to be better. The operator has a lot to do with it. Who's using that camera. So, use your iPhone. You can produce beautiful videos with your iPhone. You can use just for now, whatever camera comes with your computer. I choose to get an external camera. I choose to get a professional microphone because this is my business. You know what I mean? So I am making sure that I have up-leveled. And so if that's important to you, then you're going to do that too. But you don't have to buy fancy lights. I don't have fancy lights like you do, Kristian. I have a big old window right in front of my face because I know that I should have some good light on my face. And I have a couple of lamps that I found around the apartment that are just sort of filling in. It's not the most perfect thing, but it works and it's doable. So that I think is like bare minimum for sure. People are saying they loved the setup. Great setup. Nice setup that you have there. So there's some camera envy, great setup with 2 cameras and a teleprompter for perfect eye contact. Yep, that's nice.
Right. Eye
I love
contact is
it.
key. Yeah.
Yes, well, that is true. You want to make sure that you're looking directly at people. There's more questions. People have been looking at your house. They want to know if that is a green screen behind you. It is not, but
Oh
why don't
no.
you talk about your green screen stuff?
Yes. So no, this is my real background. The camera I'm shooting with kind of like blurs out the background, which is really nice. But no, green. If you don't have a camera that can do this, getting a green screen really helps you like create and simulate what's going on in the background.
Yes, exactly. But you should definitely use a green screen if you're going to have a virtual background. I'm not a fan of people who have that virtual background behind them with no green screen, because then hands disappear and you look weird and it's not professional. So if you're going to use that virtual background, make sure you do invest in a green screen. And Kristian did a whole video on it. So if you check out his YouTube channel, you can find it, because there's the right way and the wrong way to light a green screen. So you want to make sure that you do it well, because otherwise it doesn't look as professional as it could.
And it's not hard either. It's like green screen has been a Hollywood thing for decades.
Yeah.
But it's not hard, especially now. Like, it is so easily achievable to get a good green screen, just set up in front of a window. I set mine up in the back, I think, back here with that big window.
Yeah.
Just it's very easy to
Yeah.
pull off and zoom, Skype.
Makes it easy.
Exactly right. You just check the I have a green screen box and you're in business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a green screen too. I use it sometimes, not all the time. And so if you want to try it out, try it. The only thing is, don't wear green, because you'll disappear. I mean, that's every weather person across the country. You'll see they never wear green, because you will see the map on their dress or on their top, because it's meant to do that. So don't wear green.
Or they do wear green and then they show up on YouTube because they went viral, because they just disappeared.
It's not a good look. It is not a good look. I want to ask about where should we be posting these videos? What should we be doing with them? Right. So people finally get it together. They start making videos because we've been barking at them all this time, and they're like, oh, I'm going to do it. And then what? Then what should they do with it? How often should they be posting them? Where do they put them? What do you suggest?
Yeah, I have two answers. One is post where you want to post.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on a particular social media platform that you really like I'm doing a video campaign with my realtor, and she loves Instagram, and she wants to center her entire campaign around Instagram because she's on it. She talks to people. She wants to post on it. She lives in Instagram.
Yep.
Great. If that's your jam, that's your jam, because you're more likely to stir up that engagement. You're more likely to keep those conversations going around the content.
Sure.
So that's fantastic. On a more strategic side of things, I would say, because there's, of course, different types of video content you can make. If you make tutorial type videos, just explaining how something works,
how to light a green screen.
Right. How to light a green screen. Exactly. Yeah. Right. YouTube, because it's searchable. Yes.
It is the second most searched website ever. Google is the first one, and then YouTube is the second. So think about it. Everything I've ever wanted to do, I'm like, how do you do this? I mean, it's how I literally started my business. It's like, you can learn anything on YouTube.
That's it. And Google owns YouTube. So
exactly.
you're put in a good spot if you're giving that type of content to YouTube. So yeah, I mean, if you post one video a week or one video every other week to YouTube and you keep it consistent, you're in a great spot.
Yes.
If you go to Instagram isn't designed for 10-minute tutorial videos.
Sure.
They're designed for 15-second stories. Do a story every day. Doesn't have to be fancy. Actually, it shouldn't be fancy, to be quite honest. You should be doing it with your phone. And I see some people, especially, in the in my industry, everyone has fancy cameras. They try and make these fancy Instagram stories that look professional. Right. And I'm like, No,
Don't waste
because
your
right, people think it's an ad and they just swipe and they're just like, nope.
time.
So it's like you should be posting with your phone, and it doesn't have to be anything monumental. It just
Sure.
has to be something, related to your business, to your life, maybe related to the 10-minute video you posted to YouTube,
Right.
kind of propping up the YouTube content.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, posting to Instagram every day it's easy, and it really, really benefits you in the long run.
Yeah, it depends on also where your audience is. If your audience
Exactly,
is on
right.
LinkedIn, then embrace LinkedIn for a while and do a bunch of videos there and understand how that all works. I'm very much a fan of creating content once and then using it in multiple places. So for instance, even with this show, one of the reasons I wanted to start producing this show was so that I was consistently producing new kinds of content, and these interviews, these things that I'm topics that we're talking about, I then take the transcript from our interview and we turn it into a blog post. And then that blog post gets shared around and the video is embedded in it. And then I can take a little clip of this video and use it for something else on social media. But this, half hour or whatever it is what I used to be able to create all this other content. And I'm doing it once versus, coming up with it a bunch of times. And Sergio says this is very interesting. So I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it. That was the whole point, And Kristian, thank you for being here and for going through your setup, because I think that was really important for people to see and understand. You have a legit amazing setup, but this is what you do for a living, so you should have an amazing thing.
Thank you. Yes.
So, but not everyone has to have that. It could be much more, bare bones, just to get started, just to put some stuff out there. And we want to see you doing video because it's the wave of the future. Really, you've heard it here first. This is it. You better get on board. And, we're going to start, seeing more social media platforms adding video, and, their algorithms, of course, like video better than other forms of, media. So why not just try it? And we're going to be checking any comments, questions, thoughts that you have in, the chat boxes below. So make sure that you leave them there for us. And Kristian, you have a survival pack at your website. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that so that, people can go grab it?
Yes. So, you don't have to start with the fanciest equipment. You can start with your phone. And there are a few things that like this light that I showed. Here, I'll show it again. That light there.
People really like that shot. Yeah.
I like the behind the scenes. This is fun.
Yes.
I'll just don't mind that I'm propping the switcher up on my speaker. I didn't have anything I needed something.
Do what you got to do. It's fine.
Exactly right. But right, adding things like this light, getting a tripod with a phone clamp and a microphone system so that you can use your phone, you can look good, you can sound clear so people can understand what's going on. It can be done very affordably and very effortlessly. And that's what I want to provide. So I do have a list, which I call the Entrepreneur's Video Survival Pack.
Fantastic.
At kristiangolick.com. And yeah, it outlines every single piece of gear, every link, everything that you need to make good video content on your phone.
Good. Excellent. I love a good list, as you know. You know how I feel about it.
I do know how you like your lists, Paula.
So I appreciate that. We have a comment here from Dan Trell, who says, that makes sense, using one video to make 10 different other videos. Yes, exactly. You see how that works? And also batching is an amazing way to also produce content. Like I have a friend who does a show like this, and she only does them on Fridays, and she does one after the next, after the next, after the next. And it's because that's the best use of her time on that Friday. You can do that as well. There's a tech question for you, Kristian, about the switcher. What kind of switcher is that? And do you have that recommendation on your site?
So this is I guess you can't really see it from the wide shot too much.
Yeah, it's a little too wide.
Yeah, maybe I can do one of these deals.
Yes.
This is the Blackmagic ATEM Mini. And it's actually a very affordable switcher. It's about $300, the base model. And It's not on the website at kristiangolick.com just because that's strictly for phones and like kind of tier 1 video content.
Yep.
Where the switcher is a lot more involved, where you need multiple cameras. It takes HDMI signals. So like right now, my camera here is outputting an HDMI into this. This camera here is taking HDMI and running it into here. So it is a little more to manage. You can also, actually what I love doing is, I'm not doing it for this here, but putting a computer, outputting your computer signal into there too. It's like Zoom, but really fluid.
Yes. It looks...
My Alexa is talking to me.
Everything in that house is like amazingly automated. It seems you have switcher,
maybe a little too automated. Yeah,
a little too much.
Hush over there.
So tell me again. It's I'm going to write it in the chat for everyone. It's called the Black Magic. What?
Black Magic is the company. So the Black Magic ATEM, ATEM Mini. ATEM Mini.
Okay, got it. That's in the chat there for you guys.
About $300. Fantastic tool. And it connects as a webcam too. So it's feeding a signal into my laptop right now. So my laptop says like, oh, this is a webcam, and that's how you're seeing me right now. So it's phenomenal for $300. This should be like worth $1,500 easily.
Wow. Well, you heard it here. So that's good. That's awesome. Kristian, thank you so much. I'm sure there's going to be lots more questions and people are going to be like, wait, I have a question about this. I have a question about that. So, will you be active in the chat with me on the replay here so that we make sure we can answer all those questions and get everybody everything that they absolutely need?
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Wonderful. Well, thank you all for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Check out Kristian's survival pack at kristiangolick.com. And of course, you can check out my checklist if you go to paularizzo.com/checklist, which will give you all kinds of tips and tricks about what you should be doing with video. And if you want to do media, whether it be your own or, you want to be on the big screen, like the old school big screen, like real TV.
Real TV, right.
Kristian, thank you. It was so good to see you.
Good seeing you too, Paula. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye.